Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Welcome to Unity. Thank you for making time to be here this morning. Good to see your faces. If I haven't met you yet, I'm Kity Benson. I'm the minister here at Unity, and this is Highest Good, our awesome band. Give them some love. You know, I didn't say this enough last week, if I said it at all, but for all of you who helped create that booth at Theosopfest, wow, you guys are amazing. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I just was looking, they literally counted the things that we put out for people and then counted what was left, and we gave out almost 500 of our Unity bookmarks. I know, that was pretty fun, right? Yes, and lots of other fun things to give away. So welcome if this is your first time and you heard about us at Theosopfest. Cool. We'll try and go easy on you today, so thank you for making the time. And one of the things that we love doing here at Unity is singing, because our music has lyrics that remind us of who we are as spiritual beings and all the joy of the human experience. So just allow these words as we're singing to sink in, take them home with you. If you're new and you don't know the songs, trust me, you will by the time we sing it a second time. So it'll be pretty easy, all right? If you like standing while we're singing, now's your chance. Otherwise, stay seated and let's go.
1, 2, 3, 4. Woo! Good morning, everyone. Together, Spirit withholds nothing from me. Spirit withholds nothing from me. Spirit withholds nothing from me. It is done as I believe. Let's sing that again. Spirit withholds nothing from me. Spirit withholds nothing from me. Spirit withholds nothing from me. It is done as I believe. I declare joy, joy like a fountain. I declare peace, peace like a river. I declare faith, faith to move mountains. It is done as I believe. Here we go. Spirit withholds nothing from me. Spirit withholds nothing from me. Spirit withholds nothing from me. It is done as I believe. Let's take it up. Oh, Spirit withholds nothing from me. Spirit withholds nothing from me. Spirit withholds nothing from me. It is done as I believe. I declare joy, joy like a fountain. I declare peace, yep, peace like a river. I declare faith, faith to move mountains. It is done as I believe. Oh, Spirit withholds nothing from me. Spirit withholds nothing from me. Spirit withholds nothing from me. It is done as I believe. It is done. It is done as I believe. Let's declare one more time. It is done as I believe. Woo! Woo! As I That's just a fun song. And you know, when I first pulled it out, I know that Kity, I know you're not a big country fan. But yeah, I see you down there yeehawing now. I like that. Having a hootenanny right in the front row. How you doing this morning? You having a hootenanny wherever you are? Good. I'm glad. This morning we affirm what is true. What is very true, always and forever. We are one with the divine. Let's sing this together. I am not a drop in the ocean. I am all the ocean in a drop. I am not a drop in the ocean. I am all the ocean in a drop. God and I are one. This drop is the ocean. Yeah. Let's sing that again. I am not a drop in the ocean. I am all the ocean in a drop. I am not a drop in the ocean. I am all the ocean in a drop. And God and I are one. Yes, this drop is the ocean. Let me hear you now. Oh, 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 ocean. Oh, 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 oh. This drop is the ocean. I am not a drop in the ocean. I am all the ocean in a drop. I am not a drop in the ocean. I am all the ocean in a drop. And God and I are one. This drop is the ocean. Oh, 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 ocean. Oh, 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 this drop is the ocean. Oh, 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 ocean. Oh, 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 this drop is the ocean.
Got fall flowers. Thank you. Is that you, Beth? Thank you, dear. Hey, if you're watching online today, we're glad you're here. If it happens to be December 3rd and you're watching this particular one, yeah, fall is over. Sorry about that. But just know that whenever you're watching, we're grateful to have you and we feel your energy. We're predicting into the future and we can feel you here now, right, guys? Yes, so we're sending love. Everyone flip backwards, raise your hand, send some love. Hey, love you guys. So let's take that fun energy into our heart space. Just let your thoughts go from your head down into your heart, from the inside out. Imagine that beautiful space filled with light. That is the presence of God within us. And as we take this opportunity to rest in that light, we know that we are cared for, provided for, healed, lifted, guided, and deeply loved. This is the truth in every moment, and now we let it be. Amen. And will you help me speak our invocation? These words up here on the screen are another reminder of our truth. Together, there's only one presence and one power in the universe and in my life, the all-loving goodness of God. Thank you. You may be seated.
That one presence, that one light, that one power, that is absolutely everything. Your love is life to me, my truest longing, my deepest need. Without it one moment, I don't know where I'd be. Your love is life to me. Breath for my body, light for my eyes. more than my blood. My very existence depends on your love. Your love is life to me, my truest longing, my deepest need. Without it one moment, I don't know where I'd be. Your love is life to me. Moment by moment, I am aware of your tender mercies, your constant care, my hope and my strength through all my days. I see so clearly in so many ways. Your love is life to me, my truest longing, my deepest need. Without it one moment, I don't know where I'd be. Your love is life to me. And your love is a river flowing to the sea, and the river runs forever, and it washes over me. Your love is life to me, my truest longing, my deepest need. Without it one moment, I don't know where I'd be. Your love is life to me, and your love is life to me, my truest longing, my deepest need. Without it one moment, I don't know where I'd be. Your love is life to me.
Thank you, band. Thank you, thank you. How you doing? Good. You look good. Can you imagine me getting up here and saying, you look bad? Not going to happen. So in case you're kind of new here, I took some time off during the summer for a sabbatical, and when I came back, I wanted to know what was going on for you guys. And one of the reasons I'd like to think that you were here when I got back is because you're working on your spiritual growth. Anybody here for that reason, working on your spiritual growth? Okay. And it's a chance for us to just keep checking in with how I'm viewing the world, how I'm viewing my life. And one of the things that I asked you to do right off the bat when I got back was, what are some of the problems that have you stuck and you can't quite figure out how to match that stuck problem with some of the spiritual principles that we teach? So we thought we'd do that this month, looking at what your problems are and what we might be able to do to heal them. And this week we're going to talk about the problems that we have with other people. You know, there's so much to being human, having this experience on the planet, but other people takes up a lot of our attention, doesn't it? not always the best experiences. So I gathered all of the issues that you deal with other people, and up here on the screen, here's what I came up with. You wanted to know how to apply spiritual principles to accepting those with different beliefs, dealing with difficult family members, coworkers, employees, forgiving, forgetting, how to deal with abusive people or criminals. And on the good side, we love our family or our loved ones so much that when they have problems, we hurt. We want to be able to fix it for them, right? So that's what we're going to talk about today, no small matters, as you can see. And when you came in the door, hopefully you got a handout. If you did not get a handout, we've got them right here, so raise your hand and we'll get you one. Anybody? Okay, Melinda needs one, Kevin needs one, Tony, Deb need one. Keep your hands up and Deb will come find you. Or that's not Deb, that's Linda. Hi, Linda. Yeah, and if you're watching online and you want a copy, this is where my administrative assistant kind of freaks out because I forgot to tell her about this. Please email Melody. Actually, send an email to, up here on the screen, admin@unityinnaperville.org, and she will send you a copy of these solutions. Now, you know me, I've got the answer for everything, right? Yeah, so that's what you're holding in your hands. Now let's see if we can play the match game today and figure out how to solve our problems. And the reason I wanted you to have one in your hands, we'll see the solutions every once in a while on the screen. But I'm just going to ask you as I'm bringing up the problems for you to kind of review these solutions and see which one matches the problem, okay? So let's see how we can pull this off. First of all, the problem about accepting those who believe differently. Give me an example of that kind of thing. Politics. What else? Religion. How about your favorite team? Especially when you go to your kids' sports games. Ooh, those can get dicey, you know, with the parents on each side having opinions. So, I mean, we've seen it off and on throughout our lives where a major portion of the country feels this way, a major portion feels that way. What is it about those differences in opinion that upset us? Not safe? They're just plain wrong, right, Joan? Come on.
People are not safe, fear for our democracy.
We fear for our democracy, not get our way, might lose our rights. We fear that maybe if I'm wrong, what does that say about me? That there's not enough good to go around, so I got to make sure I get mine. So if you take a look at your list right there, let's show it up here on the screen as well. Can you see anything right off the bat that would help you deal with people who think differently than you? I'm going to actually ask Deb to go around with a microphone and just hear what you think. Which one works? Raise your hand if you got one. All right, go ahead, Jake.
I was going to say number 16, nothing diminishes my value.
Love that. Wow, what a great solution, Kity. Nothing diminishes my value. I love that. What else? Anybody else see one?
I'm going to say 22. I see their spirit and celebrate its potential.
Wonderful. I should get my list out so I can know what you're talking about. And somebody, Beth over here had one. Oh, go ahead, Rick.
Number 3, there's enough good for all.
There's enough good for all. One more up here with Beth. That was yours too? Okay, yeah. I said number 3, and I also thought getting their way doesn't deprive me of my needs. That's number 4. Say that out loud with me. Getting their way doesn't deprive me of my needs. Why is that? How can that possibly be true? Oh, come on, people. Because God is our source. Yes. God created a universe where everybody can have the heart's desire, even if it's completely opposite of someone else's. Now, I don't have access at this moment to know how God does that, but what I do know is the infinity of God, the goodness of God, the unlimited wisdom of God is ours. So when we say that God does that, it's actually happening within us. And part of the solution here is to know that about yourself and to look inside yourself for the solutions and the source of your good. Does that make sense? You may not like it, but it has to make sense, right? Okay, another problem is when we're dealing with difficult family members or coworkers, or you're a manager of employees that are difficult. Now, I put these guys together because these are the ones you hang out with on a regular basis. It's kind of hard to get away from them. And, one example is if your family members believe differently about, your faith, and you have to go to Christmas dinner, and they may just feel a little bit irritated by you and what you believe or don't believe. But there's probably even rougher questions that you deal with, or just irritation. But let's start in the office. Let's start there. Anybody here a manager of employees? Anybody, a few of you? Okay, yeah. So once in a while, those employees are just not pulling it off. And it's easy for us to feel like, how lame can they be? We want to go to the judgment of them. Or you just want to throw your hands up and like, come on, how much training am I going to have to give them? I've already given so much of my time. And you just feel like they're bleeding you dry, or they're causing trouble with your other employees. So it's easy for us to want to go to judgment and helplessness. So I want you to take a look at that list there, and even if you're not a manager, is there anything on that list that you see? Deb, you want to walk around and grab some input from people?
Number 13.
Yes.
I address their needs without judgment.
I address their needs without judgment. That was one of mine too, Danny. So this is like understanding. Just because they're not doing something the way that you want them to do it doesn't mean that they have to be bad or stupid or any of those judging words. So just deal with the need and help yourself by releasing any judgment of them. That's a good one. Did you have something back there?
Number 28, mistakes belong to my ego. I am spirit and more than ego.
Yes, that's true for the boss and the employee, right? Yes. Jeff, I know you have a few employees.
Too many. Number 19, there's no cost to encourage them, only benefit.
Yes, that was another one of mine. There's no cost to encourage them. There's only a benefit. And the idea of that is that, yes, there's things to correct here, and if we can do it with a dash of encouragement as well, it lifts their spirits, it removes the fear, it allows them to center and become more connected to their inner wisdom. So you're only doing yourself a favor when you can do it that way. Kevin, oh no.
Sure. Oh, good.
Sorry.
All right, lady.
I could be wrong. Go ahead, Kevin.
Yes. Oh, great. They've got a different view than I do. Here's an opportunity to learn.
Okay. Hey, maybe there's something about your teaching methods. Maybe there's something about your training methods that they're trying to show could use a little assistance. You just never know about that. Go ahead, Melinda.
Number 20, what is good about them?
Yeah. Look for something good in them and say it out loud even. Carlos has one over here in the middle. Deb is running.
38. Would
38?
they still be difficult if I didn't depend on them?
Would they still be difficult if I didn't depend on them? And when I wrote that, I was imagining, would I still have an opinion that you're a problem? If I didn't need you today, or if you weren't taking up my time, would I still consider you to be a problem? Does that make sense? So the good news is they're not your source. One way or the other, Spirit provides enough time and enough resources, and we get to that time and that resource when we are at peace with whatever we're dealing with. So if we can start by bringing our energy into a place of peace, then what we say to them is going to be in a place of peace, and whether they get it right or not, your needs can still be met elsewhere. Thank you for that. Okay, Susan.
What I focus on expands.
What I focus on expands. So if we're sitting in our office fuming because you just had to give an extra half hour to them, that feeling of depreciation that we focus on only becomes bigger and heavier. So do yourself a favor and focus on the way that you want it to be. What if I was in relationship with my employees and they felt comfortable in coming to me when they have problems, and they were quick learners, and I had wisdom within me to guide them appropriately? Play the what if game and imagine what it could look like. Focus on that instead. Thank you. One more. Was it Keith?
I think because none of us are perfect, number 36 stood out. What part have I played in creating this?
What part have I played in creating this? Go back to was there something I missed when I was training them? Am I coming in a bad mood today and getting them feeling less about themselves? So just make sure there's nothing that we can be doing personally that allows us to center so they can center. Good job, you guys. Okay, so another way in difficult people we deal with regularly are the coworkers and the bosses that perhaps you're upset with them because they don't treat you fairly, you're not getting an equal opportunity to advance, they're getting paid better than you are, they're getting all the good accounts, or they're just plain irritating. They've got that personality where you just, oh, Lord, please don't let me have to go to lunch with them today. Yeah, so come on, we know we do it. So. And the bosses, can be a state of fear, a concern that they could cut you off at any moment, right? So what are some solutions for that? Who's got one? I'll give you one while Deb's looking for your hand. I was looking at number 33. Maybe I'm in their life to learn something from them. So I came here and I took this job and among these people in this type of environment because there's something in me that needs to be healed. So you might just want to check in with yourself. You know how it is where you left that last job because they were behaving in a certain way and you weren't going to take that anymore? And you come over here to the new job and oh my gosh, it's the same all right, different people, but the same issue. So the common denominator there is moi. Yeah, so, okay, Liz, go.
All right, 24. There's no need for offense. They have no power over me.
Love that one. There's no need for offense. When we say they have no power over me, oh my gosh, Beth and then Jed in the opposite corner, Deb. When they say they have no power over me, a lot of times we think, well, of course they have power. They could fire me if I say what's on my mind, right? Okay, and what do we lose when we get fired? Money, maybe self-esteem. Both of those are not your boss's job to provide for you, right? The real source of your income is not the company, it's spirit. Infinite substance everywhere present. Come back on a Sunday when we're talking about prosperity. Got a whole nother talk. Okay, all right, go ahead, Beth.
Number 9, all beings are God in expression.
All beings are God in expression. So that may be hard to get into, but I promise you, if you can look at them that way, then they become that. If you look at them with a criticism or a fear, they become that. So you get to decide what they become for you. Judd?
Number 32, they are not mine to fix, only to love.
Ooh, what a relief. Thank God. Just feel that. They are not mine to fix. Even though they seem to be doing it wrong, treating me badly, they're not mine. Kyra has one, and then we'll go on. Yeah.
Number 37, what in them mirrors something in me?
What in them mirrors something in me? So let's ask myself, when I'm struggling with them and their behavior, have I behaved that way? What needs healing in me? And what am I fearing in this? And now the fear, how did Job put it in the Old Testament? That which I have feared has come upon me. Right? Okay, so that's the divine law at work. Okay, good, you guys. Another group of people that we struggle with is our family. They're being irritating. They talk too much. They boss me around. They have a lot of opinions. I'd rather just separate myself from them, avoid all holiday situations. And there's a few things, I'm sure you can find pretty much anything on this list to fit, but my 2 on that was there's no need for offense. They have no power over me, 24. Which means no matter how they think about something, they can't make you do anything, and should they go off and live their lives the way they want to, it still has no power over how you live your life. And the other one I picked was 32, they're not mine to fix, only to love. So look, things are starting to cross over here. How about when we maybe separate from a spouse? Maybe they left you. And the common feelings here are things like, I'm not worthy. You know, they left me because I'm not good enough. Can you relate to that? Or I depended on them and now I have no one. I gave them my trust and it turns out no one can be trusted. Do you hear how that goes? So what can we tell ourselves off of the list? Deb, you want to run around? Who's got one?
Number 7, I am perfect and whole on my own.
Yes, you are. That was on my list too. Who else has one? Keep your hands raised till she gets there. Okay, there's Nancy, and then it's going to be the other side of the room over there.
Well, I think all of them kind of goes under number 34. Solutions find their way into a higher consciousness. And when I can't get there based on any of the other ones, I resort to 39, Ho'oponopono. I'm sorry, please forgive me. Thank you, I love you.
Yes.
You can't get there on your own.
Wonderful.
That way.
Yeah, I'll tell you all about that one some other time, you guys. Okay, we're going to go in the back. Raise your hand again. Was that you, Amanda? And then come back up to Jake, and we'll move on.
31, I am already whole with or without their support.
Yes, you are. One more. Raise your hand, Jake.
Mine was number 25. I release my past and embrace my potential.
Yes, yes. They may have tried to convince us, or maybe not even tried to convince you. It's just that what you've decided to interpret from this experience was, I'm flawed, I have no place to go from here, no one will ever love me again. So that one really applies well to that, if you can get there, if you can get there. The next group of people that we're going to talk about here is whoever it is that we need to forgive. You know, depending on what they've done to hurt us, forgiveness is something that we choose to do or choose not to do, but oftentimes we choose not to do it because if we don't put them in their place, if we don't hold them in that place of, you are unforgiven, just like that. Oh my gosh, you guys, snap out of it. Okay, so instead of holding that for them, believing that if I don't do that, they'll do it again, also they have to be punished, I need to teach them a lesson. Can you relate to this when you don't want to forgive someone? So what about if, when we're struggling with forgiveness, it's because we feel unsafe, it's because they could take my good from me, and they could harm me again. So when we're in those places of, I can't be in their presence again. Well, you don't have to be in their presence again. That's a thing called boundaries. You get to decide whether you want to be in their presence again or not. But if you continue to hold that energy between you and that person of anger or unforgiveness, who's being held hostage? Yes. Yes, for ourselves. So on that list you were given, did anybody see any of those, how to handle forgiveness? Don Tusky. Yeah, okay, so since that's coming up a couple times, I won't go into the full story, but that's a Hawaiian system from ages back that takes on the idea that if anybody is misbehaving, I contributed to that behavior. Now, be careful that we don't become so codependent about that. There's a fine line here. This is one of the highest level systems that I've ever heard of, that the only way that that person could behave in that way is because I believe they could behave in that way. Okay? That's as far as I'll take it. Go look it up online. Ho'oponopono. Is that I've contributed to the collective consciousness that says it's possible for someone to hurt someone else. Just that thought will take you, whoa, off into a region that will have you thinking and rethinking over and over again. Was there anybody else there that wanted to talk about the forgiving and forgetting? Liz has got one back here behind you.
I hope you don't mind a follow-up to this whole idea.
Oh, yeah.
Because I feel like I do forgive. I'm like going along, everything's going great. And then all of a sudden I'm like, oh my God, I still am mad at that person for whatever that was. It keeps bubbling up. So, yeah.
I just remembered, this is a good one. I recently was introduced to this. I think I've even might have said this month. Is what if when that comes up in you and you feel that tension about what they did to you, what if you imagined that scenario happening completely differently or had a totally different outcome, or your energy around it was way up in the stratosphere of spirit, and that you could see a totally different reason for it happening for good, and it actually, you could imagine that you and their soul arranged ahead of time for that altercation so that you guys could both raise up in consciousness, and that you're actually thanking them for this experience. And as you do that, you change the entire energy in you, but also in the relationship with them. So they're not trailing behind you like a chain, a ball and chain. Instead, every time they come to mind, you just go, oh, thank you, I love you. Thank you, I love you. It's because it's an opportunity that as we shift consciousness, we actually have the power to change the trajectory of where this relationship or my experience of that relationship goes from here. Isn't that cool? Yay! Okay, Claire likes it. Thank you, Claire. Okay. So we're talking about forgiveness. Self-forgiveness is the other issue. How can I forgive myself for totally losing it, for totally harming someone, for doing something wrong or failing at something and feeling embarrassed about myself, or regretting how I've hurt someone else. And every time you think of them, same thing. So use that same experience of changing your view of what happened into a different scenario. What if it happened this way? And then just start living from that state of being. Now, did you find anything on your solutions for self-forgiveness? Anybody? I'm going to go to number 25, which says, I release my past and embrace my potential. Anybody else? Anybody else? Okay, then my other one was number 28. Mistakes belong to my ego. I am spirit and more than the ego. So yes, as human beings, this is when I was raised in a belief system that said you were born with a sinful nature that nothing can undo except salvation. Instead, it's about knowing that nothing, as a human being, I'm going to miss the mark. That's what sin really meant in the scriptures, missing the mark. When I aimed or even didn't aim towards standing in my higher spiritual self, I missed it. That's it. It's not something that can't be undone, can't be forgiven, can't be grown through. So part of this process is remembering that, what did I just read to you? Mistakes belong to my ego. I am spirit and more than my ego. So don't identify with this is who I am. It's that this is what my ego thought was the best choice in this moment, and now I am spirit and I am teaching it otherwise. Reminding who should be in charge and asking my ego to just step back and let us, as a higher self, show the way. Does that make sense? Okay, I wanted to show you a couple videos here from The Chosen. Anybody watching that on streaming? Okay, so this is Jesus choosing his disciples. And so it's fun because if you're familiar with the Bible at all and the Gospels, you get to hear him, all those teachings in the scriptures, you get to see how they come about in this writer's perspective. And the one I want to show you here is when the disciples are going from one town to another, and all of a sudden they come up face to face with a group of Roman soldiers. Now, if you know anything about the history there, Romans were in charge, even though it was their land, Jewish land. Romans had taken over, they ruled, and you pretty much had to follow their rules. Well, one of their rules was if the soldier said, hey, I want you to carry my stuff for the next mile. They had the power to do that. You had to drop everything along the side of the road, hope that it was there when you got back, and walk their stuff, heavy, all this packaging and armor and warring materials, whatever you call it. Obviously, I don't speak that language. And head off 1 mile down the road. So let's take a look at the video and see what happens next.
Everyone remain calm.
Disarm yourselves and leave your bags. You're carrying ours now.
Under Roman law, a soldier can force a Jew to carry his things.
At random.
There is a legal limit, a maximum of 1 mile and no further. Master, this is humiliating. We will comply with dignity.
What must it be like? Walking around all day with no metal weighing your head down? Ever have helmet hair? You too. You. I think that
I'm not made of straw, Matthew. I can carry it.
Hurry along, rats! Rats with nice hats.
Master, let me take that. You should not have to. No. It is no more unsuitable on my head than any of yours. We both know that is not true. Thank you for your concern, Judas.
Hold on one second. So we won't, you didn't get to hear all the interaction there, but, the disciples were furious. In their mind, they got it. This was the Messiah. This was the Son of God, and look what was happening to them. So the fact that they were being made to do this. And this was just a way of life for them. They just felt so helpless in the face of this entire movement of the Roman soldiers in their place of life, that they just wanted to fight most of the time. One of the disciples was Simon the Zealot, and he was basically trained like a master killer. So it took everything in him, now that he'd made the decision to set down his weapons and start following Jesus. It took everything in him not to just take out every single one of these soldiers. So we're talking about forgiveness here. And there's a few of them on your solutions list I want to talk about. Number 8 is no one determines my value. So that, you heard them being called rats. That was common for Romans to look at Jews that way. And so this is an opportunity for the disciples and us to remember no one gets to say whether I am of worth or not. Number 24, there's no need for offense. They have no power over me. So this takes it a little bit further. We take a breath. We recognize that even though it's hard to hear when someone insults you, that I am the person who chooses my identity and my worth. No one else can do that for us, no matter what they say. What do they say? Sticks and stones may break my bones, but names will never hurt me. Well, most of us learn that names do hurt unless you are living from your higher state of consciousness. That's why Jesus knew right off the bat there to say, we will do it. We will comply with dignity. Yeah, there's a sense of dignity. It's like, there's nothing that you can say about me or ask me to do that will cause me to lose my dignity. That's up to me. And then the other one was number 31. I'm already whole with or without their support. So just because they say I'm a rat, just because they say I'm worthless, means nothing to me. They do not have to agree with me. They do not have to support me. I am still an expression of the divine, and there's nothing that can take that from me. Now, what's interesting about this story is it goes a little bit further, and they don't just comply and carry the load and walk a mile, but Jesus has something else in mind here. keep in mind, really, this is the fullness of the Christ that we're all seeking to become, walking this road. Do you think he's going to miss an opportunity to be God in expression? Of course not. Let's take a look and see what happens.
Signed Roman law. Master. We know this has been an honor for all of you. Stop here! I said stop! The destination is that outpost a mile ahead, yes? It is, but we're only permitted 1 mile. By coercion. There's no law against citizens assisting you the rest of the way of their own volition. Come, my friends. But if anyone says anything, say that we offered.
Rabbi, what are we doing? Why would we just help Romans?
Judas, where did we meet?
At the sermon on the Chorazin plain.
Good. Whenever you are troubled, think back on my message.
Maybe, let us take back the helmets. So there's no confusion at the outpost.
If you like.
Give me that. Give me that. All right. Yeah, hand me that. I'll take it. I've got it.
Hey, if anyone forces you to go 1 mile,
Go with him too.
Signed Roman law.
How's that feel? So, wow. For some reason, when I watch that show, I cry. I don't know why. But I'm just thinking a few things that, as far as solutions go, this is a consciousness that we can adopt in a situation like that, is number 12, the frequency of love reveals all truth. Do you see how that works? The frequency of love reveals all truth. Could you see his act of love revealing the truth in them? Could you see them being affected by this? And did you see their response? Yeah. This is where the difference lies in our relationship with others, in every single problem. If you hear nothing else I say today, if you can find a way to stand in your truth, there is nothing that someone else can do that can deprive you of God's love and provision and wisdom, except your energy to push back or to hate or to judge or to fear. Now you've dropped down to the bottom level and you're no longer able to access what God wants to use to provide for your needs in this case. One other thing on your list is number 23. How can I be God for them? What does that mean? How can I be God for them? How can I make the example? Yeah. How can I express from the highest level possible? How does Spirit see this? What if I expressed from that point of view? How about nothing that they were saying could keep me from just being open and accepting and allowing and listening? Wow. Love is a powerful energy. It's also a consciousness, and it's something that we can choose in any given moment. Wayne Dyer said up here on the screen, he said, one of the things we absolutely know about energy is that when higher, faster energy comes in contact with lower vibrations, they're converted into higher energy. Did we not just see that? Thus, light entering a dark room not only eliminates darkness, but converts that darkness to light as well. The parallel I'm drawing here is that when we enter the energy field of someone who's connected to spirit, we find ourselves not only forsaking our uninspired ways, but also converting to their higher energy. In other words, we become inspired just by being in their presence. What if people became inspired just by being in your presence? Are you open for that idea? See, the trick is staying awake in the moment so that the ego does not bring you down and you're able to stand and choose from a higher point of view. There's, wow, this is going really long. All right, so let me just make some adjustments here. Let me say one thing about criminals, those that we feel abuse others, they kill, they steal, they injure. My thought around that is, it's very easy for us, even if we don't have personal experience with that, it's very easy for us to judge, hate, want to get them in jail as quickly as possible. But, Jesus was the one, set up here on the screen, love your enemies and pray for those who persecute you. For if you only love those who love you, what reward do you have? Be perfect, therefore, as your heavenly Father is perfect. It goes back to what we just said in the previous demonstration. But what's important in this scripture is, what reward do you have? In other words, how does your soul grow if you just keep hanging around with people you love? If you avoid those that are different from you or that you can't stand or that you judge, what reward do you have if you don't learn how to love them anyway? So one of the items that spoke to me on your list for that is number 9. All beings are is that right? Nope, that's not right. Okay, we'll try number 9. All beings are God in expression. Really? Seriously? If we can remember that in the moment, it gives them a chance to be that. And something that was number 39, Ho'oponopono. I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you, I love you. What consciousness am I holding about this person? Criminals in general, that is contributing to the collective consciousness that is drawing this forth out of people, that needs to be changed. There's a few things here. Last group of people is our loved ones, that we want to solve problems for them. Most commonly, parents for their children, that they need me to get through this problem. I'm the one with all the wisdom. I'm the one that should be here to tell them how to get through this. I have to solve it. They can't fix it without me. Very common for parents to feel that way about their children. I know parents that actually speak for their children. You ask your child a question and the parent answers. It's like, what? So that's when we are over-involved in their lives. And this is a chance for us to look at number 14. I am not their source of good. As much as we want to be their source of good as parents, I'm not their source of good. And number 18, they came here for their own reasons, not mine. Just remember, start with the fact that they're spiritual beings. They are just as much an expression of God as you are. And that the divine wisdom that you can access, so can they. And they didn't come here to let you grow their soul. They came here to grow their soul for themselves. So I'm not saying give up on them and walk away, but our part in this can be about just loving them as they are and not fixing them. Loving them, seeing who they really are as spirits, seeing the end result with them as beings of light, living a life of joy. That's it. Being of light, living a life of joy. That's the parents' responsibility. And for all of our loved ones, living as light and a life of joy. Think you can do that? Okay, you have to think about it, I can see. So one last thing from Eric Butterworth. He says, one cannot pray in the consciousness of love, except that all experience that sense of love in some way. There we go, contributing to the collective consciousness. Thus, peace can begin with me, and one person can do something positive and powerful about the consciousness of the world. Jesus said, I will give you the keys to the kingdom of heaven. You're in charge. Whatever you bind on earth will be bound in heaven. Loosed on earth will be loosed in heaven. What do you want to set free in this situation? Your consciousness is what will create the result for yourself. You cannot make anything happen for someone else. You can only hold it in consciousness for yourself and can actually enter the collective consciousness and help to lift it all the way around. Let's take that into meditation for a few minutes. The way to healing relationships is to find a way to let go of the fear. Fear of harm to yourself, fear of lack of resources, fear of losing your power or your status or your worthiness. So let's just begin there. Let's take a deep breath and let our bodies relax. Just notice if there's been any tension that's kind of come over you during this message. That's just the body trying to protect itself when it hears potential threat, and the ego. So we soothe the body first with a deep breath and release the tension. Allowing that breath to move as divine light throughout your body. No matter what relationship is going south for you right now, there's only one thing to focus on. The infinite presence of God. A presence that is pure love. A presence that has guidance for every situation. A presence that has no fear, but is only peace, for it knows there is only one power here. My supply cannot be taken from me, for it is infinite and everywhere. My worthiness cannot be undone, for there is only one of us here, the presence of God expressing as me. I'm never alone. There is no enemy but what I make. At all times, perfect love loves me at all times. No matter my success or failure, perfect love loves me at all times. Take a breath and allow that love to permeate your being, feeling your entire being relax. In all cases, in all relationships, this divine love works everything together for good. As I say yes to love. I'm so grateful to know that nothing can stand between me and the divine love and wisdom of God. And I choose in this moment and each moment to be a presence of that love for all beings, for all life. There is nothing here I need to struggle against. Simply allow the truth of who I am. I am loved, and I am the love of God expressing. And so it is. Amen. So that might have felt a little bit like school. But welcome to Unity. Hopefully, you'll hang on to this. And some night, 8 months from now, when you're tossing and turning in bed over something, get this out and bring your issue to it. If it has anything to do with anybody, see if you can't find something to give your attention to and move into. And next week, we're going to talk about big problems, big world problems. So come on back if you dare. And this time in our service is an opportunity for us to share our tithes and our love offerings as a way to just simply continue this environment, to give yourself an opportunity to come back and continue to grow. For those of you growing online, we ask you to participate in this process. You can do that online at unityinnaperville.org, or if you'd like to mail a check to Unity, our P.O. Box is 9733 in Naperville, and the zip is 60567. And I'm kind of thrown off because we changed our deal here, but I think what we're going to do next is invite our ushers to come forward and sing, and then we'll bless the offering afterwards.
I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed.
If you want to bring the offering forward, thank you, Rick. Yeah, come on up. Just open your heart to the energy that's been given here, that's being given online, and let's just hold this idea together up here on the screen. Divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive, and I am grateful. Thank you. Thank you. And Deb, come on up.
Good morning. I'm Deb DeSandro, and I'll be sharing announcements today. Morning. All right, if you're joining us for the first time, welcome. We're so glad you're here. Yes. And if you haven't filled out this gold registration card, you can find it in the front room there, and we can let you know about everything that's coming up at Unity. We also want to welcome our virtual newcomers, and you can sign up for our weekly e-news at unityinnaperville.org. First, we have Creative Flow. The exhibit opens in the cafe next week. Please drop off your art in the Unity prayer room today. Each submission should include a tag with your name, the title of your work, your email, and phone number. Tags are available in the prayer room. And we are also collecting styrofoam for the next 2 Sundays. If it's been in contact with food, please wash thoroughly. No foam insulation or packing peanuts. If you can help deliver the styrofoam to Dark Container in North Aurora for the reprocessing the week of September 29th, email admin@unityinnaperville.org. And you can put it in this one right here, stage closet. All right, great. Monday Morning Metaphysics meets tomorrow online at 10:30 a.m. They are reading The Power of Decision by Raymond Charles Barker. Newcomers are always welcome. Our fall equinox drumming circle is Tuesday at 7 p.m. Use rhythm instruments, chanting, and silence to connect with your inner wisdom and send light to the world. The registration fee is $20, and you can pay online or at the info table. Aging with Spirit and Energy meets Saturday at 10 a.m. You will learn the techniques to keep your energies humming, support heart health, hormones, sleep, and to manage stress. I got to sign up for that. Email admin@unityinnaperville.org or sign up in the cafe. Suggested love offering is $10 to $20. And our annual picnic, yes, is Sunday, September 29th at Herrick Lace Forest Preserve in Wheaton. Unity provides the chicken and the drinks, and then we bring a side dish to share. Raffle tickets are on sale to fund the chicken, and we'll split the pot with the winner. $1 tickets on sale at the info table. RSVP, please, in the cafe. More details on event calendar. And our prayer chaplain today is Steve. Thank you, Steve. Steve can pray with you in the prayer room after the service, or you can email your name and phone to prayer@unityinnaperville.org, and a chaplain will call you today by 1 p.m. For details on all of our events, see the event calendar at unityinnaperville.org. And Reverend Kity has a special announcement.
Thank you, Deb. So, one little change here is that this Great Lakes, our region of Great Lakes Unity churches coming together here on September 24 and 25 for a conference in this room. I could use some help. So if you would like to volunteer to work the conference, would you please either see me, there's a sign-up sheet out in the front room, need to know as soon as possible so that we can get this organized. And if you choose to volunteer, you don't have to pay for the registration of it. If you are registering for the conference, which is all about creativity and you're getting to know people from all the other Unity churches in the area, hearing from our headquarters, the deadline for signing up is today. So the website is greatlakesunity.com over there on the orange to do that today. And the registration fee has gone up now to $200 because we're just, what do you call that? Procrastinators. But it's going to be a great time together, so I hope you can join me. If you can help, sign up ASAP out front, or if you're watching online, send an email to admin@unityinnaperville.org. Okay? Thank you. Let's stand and we'll have one last song.
Together. Blessed always, blessed always, for the arms of God surround us. Let our joy be so triumphant that we rest in God and say amen. Blessed always, blessed always, for the arms of God surround us. Let our joy be so triumphant that we rest in God and say amen. Let our joy be so triumphant that we rest in God and say amen.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Here's our closing affirmation for today up here on the screen. Yeah, just take that in there for a minute. Even if you don't really like the way that the frog thinks, just consider, helping him out. Even if you think that the snail is too slow for your pace, just think about helping out a little bit, and let's say these words together. My love deprives me of nothing and benefits all. So please allow that love to find somebody that you can't remember their name and say hey and ask them what they thought of today. Come out and have some refreshments with us. Join us this week for some of the fun, and I'll see you next time. Thank you, guys.
Oh, yeah. Hey, you want to come up here and sing? Yeah, you can. You know what there is on the front chair there? A microphone? Go grab that. Come on, Jen. You too, Jen. Whoever wants to sing. Let's have some fun. There's the mic.
Come on up and sing with us.
I am not a drop in the ocean. I am all the ocean in a drop. I am not a drop in the ocean. I am all the ocean in a drop. God and I are one. Sing it there.
God is the ocean.
Woo. Sing it again. Hold that mic up to yourself. I am not a drop in the ocean. I am all the ocean in a drop. I am not a drop in the ocean. I am all the ocean in a drop. God and I are one. This drop is the ocean. Here we go. Oh, 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 ocean. Here we go. Oh, 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 oh. This drop is the ocean. I am not a drop in the ocean. I am all the ocean in a drop. I am not a drop in the ocean. I am all the ocean in a drop. God and I are one. This drop is the ocean.